Hey guys, Reina here. So today I have a really special treat for both myself and for you guys. I'm going to be sitting down with my friend Mary Spender. If you don't know who she is, she's a musician, a guitar guru, and a creator of an amazing series here on YouTube that's all music related. So I'm going to be asking her some questions about how she produces that series, her love of cycling, her greatest fears,
I've kind of overcome my fear of spiders, so that's not it.
and many other things. So earlier this year, I had a chance to sit down with Mary and she interviewed me, so I thought it would be fun to turn the tables on her and ask her some questions of my own. Let's get into it. Thank you for chatting with me today, Mary. I know you're like really busy doing your daily videos.
My absolute pleasure.
So last time we talked was kind of the beginning of everything shutting down, and who would have thought that almost a year later we would still be here in this exact same position?
Who would have thought? How are you coping with it all in the sun over in LA?
Oh my God, it's so hard. It's so hard. I was saying earlier, this is my first full winter outside of Minnesota, so I thought I'd miss the snow a lot more than I have, and I'm just not missing it at all. But I wanted to kind of start and just ask you, you're on this daily video journey. This is something I can't even fathom. I mean, I struggle putting out a video every week, so I don't know how you're coping with putting out a video every day. What was the inspiration for that, and like, what have you kind of been like learning as you go?
I said to myself and to a few friends at the end of 2020, I was like, I'm going to just try and work less. What would that look like? And then I spent 8 hours thinking about it, and then I rang my editor and I was like, I want to go daily. And he was like, wait, what? I thought you were going to work less. I thought you were going to take January to sit and write. And I was just like, I just don't think I can write original songs right now. I just don't feel creative in that mindset with everything going on. But every day on YouTube feels like a new opportunity, and I'd always wanted to go daily. I mean, it's a stupid idea. I will agree with that. And it's
a crazy idea. I don't know if it's stupid. You've had other crazy ideas. You know, you did the 24-hour live stream where you live stream for an entire day without taking a break or resting, and I was happy to be part of that for like a tiny fraction, like an hour.
You helped. You were there. You really did. You and Tony kept me very, very entertained.
I think that was a key moment because it was like 3 or 4 in the morning for you. So yeah, but so you are known to do some stuff, you know, to try some stuff, which I think is cool. You've gone through a lot of different sort of types of videos throughout your tenure on YouTube, and I was gonna ask sort of like, you know, what got you into YouTube initially? What were like some of the early videos like, and like what made you want to, like, were you envisioning yourself doing what you're doing now, or were you more just sort of like sharing music in the beginning?
I was trying to do the share original music and share covers, but it just wasn't working for me. But I also wasn't ready for it to work. I didn't have the right living situation. I didn't have the right equipment. I was working different jobs in finance and like low-level finance, just getting temp jobs. And then I was doing cover sets in the evening in bars and pubs. So YouTube was kind of just a way to send songs to new pubs to get more bookings. And so I've had my account since 2006, but I didn't really start YouTubing till 2017.
Yeah.
And then I think now I think to break through, it's quite a challenge. And I just kept seeing artists that were so notoriously not being successful in their own rights usually. So film directors and photographers and illustrators, and then also, you know, musicians, and seeing them suddenly build businesses on YouTube independently. And I was like, oh my God, okay, people are watching and people are showing little bits of their lives, and that's really exciting. And Casey Neistat was a huge thing for me in 2015 because he'd hit my subscription box at 1 p.m. every day because it was 8 a.m. New York time when he'd be uploading. And that was my lunch break in my 9-to-5 job. So I was hooked on his videos every day, and I was upset when he was like 5 minutes late, and I was like, whoa, what is this? So yeah, I never expected myself to go daily, but now I'm trying it. I'm really enjoying it. But yeah, I think I won't be daily forever.
Yeah,
probably not past this month.
Well, yeah, that makes perfect sense to me. And I know with the deadline thing, a lot of people, so we have a series, a Sunday morning series, and it used to be that we would only upload at 10 a.m. our time, Central Time, every Sunday, and it was exactly on the dot, and I was religious about it. And so people would expect, that they could tune in from wherever they were in the world, and the video would be there at that time. And that got to be so much pressure, and I used to just get sick about it if I thought I was going to be 5 minutes late or whatever. So we ended up sort of relaxing the deadline aspect of it a little bit, and I think everyone's happier now. Maybe not the people, waiting for the exact minute in Germany to watch the video, but deadlines can be really stressful. And I think just having a schedule, having a looser deadline, like this is, we're going to do a video a week, or we're going to do a video a day, or whatever it might be, is really helpful to schedule sort of your creative output. But having these like insane, rigid things are maybe not the best way to go, at least for me.
Yeah, and even with what's going on right now, I'm not promising that they arrive at, I'm trying to hit sort of 1 p.m. around 1 p.m. But today I uploaded at 3 p.m. because everything was taking a while.
And I'm sure you didn't get any angry emails about where's the video or whatever.
No. I think I also think I benefit from everyone else's YouTube burnout video.
Oh yeah.
I think I benefit from their videos, just because I think people realize they're like, oh yeah, like maybe we don't need to be quite so demanding.
Throughout all of your sort of channel history, what would you say is there a video that you are particularly proud of? Your proudest video?
Do you have one that you're proud of?
It's hard to say. I definitely have the opposite ones where I'm.
Yeah, me too.
I've probably taken them down already, but I guess there are certain videos where I feel like we nailed that performance, or there was something special about that video that couldn't be reproduced later. Like we have a video we recorded on some train tracks, a cover of Jambalaya, and like that was a really cool moment in time because it's these sort of really empty train tracks. In fact, we thought they were abandoned. And then at the very last moment when we had finally gotten our take, the train came, and it was just like this perfect like storm of things that happened, and we wouldn't be able to reproduce it even if we tried. So I guess I would say, like, I don't know if proud is the right word, but that's like one piece of content that's out there that I would enjoy watching again,
Yeah, I would definitely say of all my videos that I'm most proud of, it's the performances and the collaborations, because they do, and all the live, very, very live outdoor stuff, like us on a rooftop, like,
yeah,
it's just such a nice memory. I would say those are the ones I'm most proud of. Would always love more time to get them done, but the fact that they're done and they're living there and they are just a captured moment of time, and like much more than the guitar reviews or whatever. But then sometimes I'm really proud of like a video essay that I've written and done and sort of researched, and
yep.
But I don't know. Someone did ask me recently, I'm pitching for an interview that I don't think I'll get, but really, and they were just like, send us some examples of your work. And I was like, oh my God. Oh my God, nothing is good enough. Nothing is good enough to deserve this. So yeah, no, I'll get it. I won't get the interview. I understand. But we'll see. I sent them some stuff.
I don't know if you're like this, but I have days where I look back at my whole YouTube library of videos and I think, none of this is good. Why do I make any videos ever? Why I should probably just stop. There are so many people out there that do what I do so much better than I do it. And then other days I'll look and I'll be like, no, I'm actually really proud of this library of videos that I've made. I'm proud of the content we've made. I'm proud of the songs I've written. And it just really go like day to day. It can be wildly different for me. That's at least how I feel. I don't know if
no, I feel exactly the same. Exactly the same. It's terrifying sometimes. I look back at my catalogue and I'm like, why are people watching this?
Yeah, and then when you get a certain amount of like views or a certain like number of subscribers or audience members that you know are going to see every video that you put out, there's a little bit of pressure there. And I think especially in your case, because people really look to you to, you know, guide them on gear decisions or whatever it might be. So.
I've just thought of tomorrow's clickbait title. I'm going to be like, Reina talked me out of daily vlogging. And that's going to be the end of it. That's going to be the final episode.
That'll be the end of Tuesday Talks, and then everyone will just hate me forever. Don't do that.
So I yo-yo. Sometimes I'm like, why am I doing this? Why is anyone listening to me? I'm terrible. Imposter syndrome, massively. Yeah. And then I'm kind of like, doesn't matter. Like, if people want to dislike my videos, whether physically or actually just not want to watch them, I'm like, yeah. I heard Chelsea Handler talking about online hate, and obviously she's a comedian, a female comedian, which is, I mean, I admire comedians so much. But then she's also politically active, very opinionated. Like, she must suffer so much online hate. And someone asked her about it in an interview, and she just went, oh, it's just not something I take seriously.
Wow. I wish I had that superpower.
It's a superpower. Like, I was like, oh, that's how she's been doing this for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, well, what's to stop me from having that superpower? Like, what's to stop us from having it? Because
right.
you just have to disconnect that tiny, tiny little bit, and then you are free. And it's the strangest thing, again, because I panic and I'm like, what if I say something stupid in these daily vlogs? I'm like, what am I going to say that really offends people? If I say something stupid or come across as naive, it's probably because I'm a bit stupid and naive in that topic. So there's no point pretending. Right. They'll educate me, and then I'll be smarter tomorrow.
I mean, that's part of it too, is that you have kind of a community of people. You know, you're the person organizing it, but there are a lot of people who seem like they just, in your comment sections, people talk about, you know, their own guitars, their own gear, their thoughts about whatever thing you're talking about. And it's really seems like a pretty like vibrant community that you've formed.
Well, I think it's the thing I like about some of the people I watch is that sort of parasocial relationship where I feel like I know them. You know, it's like I felt like I knew you before we'd even met. And
yeah, same.
I think cultivating that so that, because hopefully I will meet these people. Hopefully they will maybe come to shows and I'll perform in front of them, hopefully one day again. And I don't want to come across any different. I just literally just want to appear like I do in my videos.
You don't come across any different in person. You are literally the same person that you are on your channel, which is really refreshing and really cool.
Thank you.
And I can say that because I know Mary Spender. We did some videos together a while back, and and I actually going along with that, we had a show scheduled for we were going to play a show in London this year. I can't even remember what the date was supposed to be.
June.
But
June
it was June, right? So that was never going to happen. But I can't wait for the day that we can reschedule that and we can play live, and you know, whether it's in London or LA or wherever it might be, or a tour at some point, it'd be really fun to play some shows with you. So
I mean, I'm so down. So down.
I wanted to ask you, so I know you do make a lot of like gear reviews and talk a lot about gear, and I was wondering, is there like a certain piece of gear that you've acquired this year that has been like incredibly helpful to you in making videos or music? Like, what's like the number one like acquisition that you've made?
Well, I know you already have a Zoom. I didn't acquire that. I acquired that earlier, but that it still blows me away. A boom mic, very, very handy. Prime lenses, better lenses, definitely upgraded some of my camera stuff. Rechargeable batteries.
Oh my God. Yes. I've been on the rechargeable battery game for a long time now. I'll never go back.
Okay, well, so for recording electric guitars, I did get it last February. Yeah, February 2020 is the Oxbox.
Oh,
gear.
Tony just got one of those. She's about to do a review of it. Yeah. How are you liking it?
I mean, it's incredible. It's incredible for recording, obviously, but it's also just nice for practicing because you can obviously turn the speaker up or down depending on what you're doing. And just having an attenuator on an electric guitar and actually having it all at 10 is just, it's such a luxury, especially when you're in rented accommodation. Mm-hmm. It's mind-blowing. And then just knowing that you are getting exactly what you need out of the electric guitar too, because if you have it on 3 and you're miking it up, you're not getting enough. So yeah, and then in terms of inspiration recently, literally made a video about this today.
Whoa.
1936 Epiphone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where did you get that?
Reverb.
Oh, damn. Reverb is such a rich minefield of things. I know I never go there because I know I'm going to see something that I need.
You will see something, and then so the reason I bought it was because I watch a lot of gear just to see, just to keep my eye on some stuff. And someone put an offer in on that, and I was just like, I'm just going to buy the asking price because I need that. I need it in my life. Why am I second guessing myself? And and then it luckily turned out to be in really good quality because the majority of them aren't, and sometimes the necks are bowed. I think that's the right term. Sure. But yeah, it turned out all right. Who knows? That's awesome. Could snap at any moment. We might have a fun percussive. I'm just so terrified. Things go wrong all the time with those old instruments. But yeah, I'm going to just record a live EP on it. That's what I've just decided.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, that was going to be my next question: is if do you have any sort of music planned coming out? Maybe an album or a single or anything you're working on?
I haven't got anything finished whatsoever. I've had stems of drums for an EP for literally a year now. I recorded them in LA last year, and then the world fell apart, and I just haven't looked at them long enough to edit and then start recording on top. And I should. I think I will. I think I'm going to commit a week in February just to that. But then, I've been learning Ableton, and that's a whole new minefield. And I've been like writing terrible songs in it, kind of, and then just trying to learn that software. I'm writing every day, just little voice notes and just little ideas, and then I feel my resilience for songwriting is not the same as my resilience for video making. You know that feeling where you want to quit. As soon as I feel like I'm just not getting anywhere with the song, I just put the guitar down and I just walk away from it, and I'm just like, I'll come back to it tomorrow. Whereas I can't do that with videos, especially right now. So
yeah, I have the same thing, and actually the first thing to go for me is usually songwriting, which is sad because it's probably my like number one passion. It's what makes me happiest, and it's the first thing for me to kind of put off to the side to get other things done. Because partly because it takes so much energy from me, because I care about writing music and I want to really clear a space, when I'm going to sit down and do that. And I just feel like a lot of times I'm swamped with deadlines. I've got other things going on. So I don't feel like I have that space. So then I just don't pick up my guitar and don't write. And like, that's been my kind of number one goal for 2020 is to get back and actually clear the space regularly to make sure that I'm writing.
What does a normal week look like for you? Right now, obviously, in this current day and age.
I feel kind of ridiculous saying this to somebody who's doing daily videos, but, you know, I find the weekly video even to be kind of challenging to keep up with. So for me, like a lot of my week is spent just kind of thinking about what are we going to do this week? You know, is it going to involve just me or me and Tony, or, you know, Andrew now, our bass player, lives nearby, so we're able to work with him again. And just sort of like rehearsing, you know, learning the song if we pick a cover, you know, learning the cover, working with Tony to chart it out, figure out an arrangement, rehearse the song, figure out the location, you know, set up all the gear, and then like shoot the video, edit the video, record and mix the video. We do everything ourselves still. We don't have like any kind of team that we work with. So, and really when I say me, it's like I do all the recording, the mixing, the video editing, the posting, the everything. So it doesn't seem like a lot, I think, to people who just kind of tune in and see a quick performance of a song. But it actually is. It's a lot of, it kind of takes the whole week to film and get it all together. So,
I mean, there's a reason I'm not doing a cover every day or every week. Like, I find it those videos are definitely the most challenging. And obviously I've seen you at work now, and I mean, you're way more efficient than I am. So there's no way I could do a new cover every week. It's just too much.
So I know you follow a lot of other creators on YouTube, and you know a lot of other people that kind of do similar things to what you do. But I was going to ask, are there any like non-music YouTube channels that you follow? Like any creators that you like on YouTube that don't do music?
I think the ones I actually follow every day are definitely not music. So I love Yes Theory. Have you heard of them?
No.
They do these crazy challenge videos, but it's mainly around travel and sort of overcoming fears and stuff like that. And they're just incredibly well shot and entertaining, and they've got 6 million subscribers. I listen to a lot more podcasts than I watch YouTube, and a lot more audiobooks. A lot more
interesting as a YouTuber that you gravitate toward podcasts.
Just mainly because you know, when you're doing it as a job, you're sort of working on YouTube and then watching YouTube, and you know, I obviously watch a lot of YouTube, but just sometimes you have to get to work.
Most of my non-music, well, actually, most of the YouTube channels I follow are gaming channels. I don't know if I've mentioned that to you, that I'm a kind of a gamer. That's what I do in my spare time. So I really like watching like there's this one gamer named Lottie that I really enjoy, because she's like a really fun personality, but also is an incredible gamer. So people like that.
I'm so fascinated by the gaming world, and every time I start to think, I watch my friend Tamara, she live streams on Twitch sometimes, and when I just kind of want to feel like I'm hanging out with her because she lives in Chicago, I'll just like go on her Twitch stream, and because I have friends who game, I now see that I have definitely missed. I know I could just start gaming myself and just have fun. Fine.
It's never too late. Never too late.
Never too late. Oh God. It's the time spent. It's so addictive. And then people are so much better than me.
Oh yeah.
And I know I shouldn't get competitive about those sorts of things, but I would be. Right. And that's kind of, you know, sometimes they work that way. They want you to get through different levels, and they encourage it, you know, and I know I have a very addictive personality, and it's why I'm doing daily videos. And the gaming thing, it just... Also, I'm so bad at watching anything... Not that all games are terrifying, but some of them get so dark, and like I've got Limbo and I've got Inside, and they are the most stunning games I've ever played, and obviously just one player. But I find them I find it very all-consuming, and
yeah, like you get almost too
I get lost in it, which I know is also again the point. But yeah, I'm a bit more of a reality checker. Other than maybe a good beer, I don't try and escape all that much.
What are you drinking, by the way?
I'm actually drinking a Sierra Nevada.
Oh, I
Yeah.
have some of that in my fridge, and if it weren't 1 p.m.
Yeah, it's 9 p.m. for me, just for the record. That's why I'm having a bit.
Hell, I might have one by the end of this too. But okay, well, I think it's time for the lightning round.
Okay.
You were a really good sport about the lightning round that I put you through for your live stream, so I figured I'd bring it back with new questions this time.
Oh God, I'm terrified. It was so scary because I was so nervous of coming across as an idiot.
Well, don't think about the answers too hard. You just have to kind of answer quickly.
All right.
Okay. Strat or telly?
Strat.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Are you more creative in the morning or the early night?
Night. Definitely. Night owl.
Coolest place you've traveled to?
Went to Kuala Lumpur once.
That's cool.
That was pretty cool.
Favorite dish to cook?
Anything by Ottolenghi. It's sort of Israeli food.
Current TV show that you're watching?
I'm watching stuff that's very non-addictive right now, so I'm not watching anything current. I'm re-watching episodes of Brothers and Sisters. Really old TV show, but just so that I can stop and start it and then just get back to work.
That's smart. That's what I do with the original Star Trek series, because you don't need to binge that. Last book that you read?
I just read Obama's latest autobiography.
Cool. That's on my list.
I don't think that was my most recent, though. What have I just read? I'm just reading The Kite Runner.
Oh, cool.
Because I never read it. I missed it completely.
I missed it too. I haven't read it either.
I've read something in between. What did I read in between? Oh, I'm really interested in true crime. So I read Michelle McNamara's book about the Golden State Killer.
Okay. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a true crime person, but that sounds fun.
You see, I am very much. That's my only nerve-wracking thing about moving to California. You've had a lot of serial killers.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Be careful. Favorite actor?
Cate Blanchett.
Oh my God, such a good pick.
Great.
She's
choice.
definitely in my top. She's probably my favorite too. First song that you learned on the guitar?
Teenage Dirtbag by Wheatus.
I love that.
But technically before I learned the James Bond theme tune, but that's not really a song.
Awesome.
Dun, dun, dun.
Assemble, as quick as you can, assemble the perfect band. Singer, guitar player, bass, drums.
Okay, right. Bear with me. Drummer. I'm not going to use anyone famous. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Well, they are. They have their own audiences. So Beth Goodfellow on drums. LA bassist. LA drummer. Jesus. She's incredible. Big fan. Bass. My bassist Julia Hoffer. Keys / electronics Rachel K. Collier. You on acoustic.
Oh, come on. No.
No, can you imagine this though? Imagine this whole live setup. Tony, lead guitar. Then, basically everyone in that band can sing. So that's 6-part harmony or something crazy. Who have I missed?
Well, I think you got all the main parts of a normal band. But
I did, but I'm just being
you want to throw in
now.
Some extra
I kind
sauciness?
of want a cellist, but I can't think of a name right now.
That sounds like a great band. I mean, why don't we just make that band? That sounds great.
Well, because we can make that band. Rather than me being I want Stevie Ray Vaughan on guitar or something like that. It's no, that one can happen, and that one would be the best band we'd all be in.
That is a great answer. I love that. What's your dream guitar? Maybe you already have it. I don't know.
Yeah, I've definitely got guitars that I have lusted for. I would definitely just love to acquire some really beautiful vintage stuff. Having that tone just accessible would be mad. So I would love an Esquire, and then I'd love a Strat. I have an American Professional Strat, but a custom shop, if not vintage Strat. And those are such classic answers. But then there are some really crazy guitars out there that, I've kind of already the St. Vincent signature that I bought is definitely
It is
cool.
a dream guitar. Yeah.
And then, because I'm obviously a John Mayer fan, I got the limited edition Nebula Silver Sky. So those are two dream guitars, and just the fact that they're so limited.
So you have many dreams. You have many dream guitars.
I have so many dreams. I'm terrible at this game, aren't I?
No. What is your greatest fear?
I've kind of overcome my fear of spiders, so that's not it.
I'm jealous. I still have that fear.
I just have to be very calm about it and just get them out of the flat. I think my greatest fear is something that probably could happen, and it's kind of losing my privacy, I guess. That's my biggest fear.
I think privacy is like, I think that's going to be a fear that defines our generation, because it really seems like the younger generations are like less concerned about their privacy. You know what I mean? They're more willing to just like sign up for stuff and not worry about that. And I think for like our generation, we're going to be like the old people being like, I don't know about putting a chip in my brain, you know, what are they going to do with that data? You know? So I don't know. Privacy is kind of an important thing to me too.
Well, I definitely believe in technical privacy, and I know that, you know, they're always changing the game, and then we are just giving up more and more information in that way. But it's also like this fear. I have the people that know me, and then I have the people that think they know what I'm all about. I have my audience who know that they don't know me all that well. They know that they're a fan of what I'm doing. Yeah. But then there are the people who I'm very, you know, insecure about people talking about me behind my back in a really horrible manner, and I'd much rather they just said it to my face. Yeah. And that's why I appreciate horrible YouTube comments, because I'm like, well, at least they're not hiding it. Right. But yeah, the sort of secretive element of that sort of thing, and people thinking that they know you and then spreading rumors or stupid stuff about you, that's definitely like terrifying to me. That makes me feel very ill. Yeah.
I have a similar fear of that. What is your favorite accent?
Obviously American.
But what American then? Because we have a few. We have like New York, Southern, California.
I love the Midwestern accent, as in
really?
Just as a pleasant thing to listen to. Yeah, I find it quite pleasant to listen to.
I feel like the Midwestern accent, like we never get any love. Like nobody ever mentions us, so really appreciate that.
Well, you're welcome. And I'm not just trying to compliment you, but I really, because I have a lot of friends in the Midwest, and I just think, you know, it's a very, yeah, I think it's underestimated. And then, you know, I love the sound of a Southern accent when it's just, I mean, it's so charming.
Yep, it can be really musical actually. Like there's like the deep Southern, like Georgia sort of like old timey accent can be really cool.
Yeah. I love the Australian accent. I just so can't stop smiling. So anyway, I'm choosing too many things. It's meant to be a fast round topic. So there we go. Right. Midwestern. I'll go Midwestern first.
Nicest gift that you've ever gotten from a fan?
Obviously, I don't accept all that many.
You don't have like a P.O. box that people send things to you?
No, not anymore. Not anymore. Tried it for a bit. Just over here, our P.O. boxes are just not very efficient. I think the best thing is when someone says, I've started being creative because of you. So earlier today, I got read a poem, and it sounds like it would be really cheesy, but it was like this stunning poem from a supporter who lives in Poland, and so English isn't even his first language. Wow. He's also a doctor, so he's obviously incredibly intelligent, but he wrote this poem, and we'd just been talking about something, and he was like, oh, hang on a minute, I've just actually written it. That's really funny. I've just written a poem about that topic, about you. And I was like, okay, like, you know, scared. And then he read it, and I was like, oh my God, it was amazing.
Wow. Yeah. I was not expecting that answer. That's really cool. If you weren't a musician, what would you be?
Firefighter.
What?
Yeah.
I love that answer. What will your retirement hobby be?
I feel like I've retired already. Is that... I sometimes joke with my family. I'm like, I think I'm just retired.
I feel like maybe you're not. You're making a video every single day. I think you're still very much at work.
Oh, I'm working in my retirement.
But what's going to be like your old person hobby?
I guess I'm probably one of those. I hope I will be fit and healthy enough to do this, but I just kind of want to cycle everywhere around the world.
I was going to guess, if I had to guess what you were going to say, that's what I was going to guess, because if you don't follow Mary on Instagram, then you may not know that she's an avid cycler. And
not in this weather, I'm not, but when I moved to California, all the time.
And there are plenty of awesome hills to cycle.
Absolutely.
Here,
so. Many a mountain.
Okay, I just have a couple more. If you could have a superpower, what would that be?
Flying.
I like that one.
Yeah, I don't want to be invisible because I don't want to listen to people bitch and whine about me. Don't want to know. Would rather just not know. Fly.
Yeah. That'd be useful too. I mean, you get to all your gigs, like you'd never be late.
Yeah, I'd probably still manage to be late, but yeah.
So, this is my last one. When will this pandemic nightmare be over so we can make music together again? If only we knew.
If only we knew. I mean, I think over here, what we're telling ourselves is that we're not really going to open up until summer. People are being vaccinated. It feels like there's still a long way to go, obviously.
Yep.
And a lot is going to be absolutely crushed still. I've just spoken.
A lot of venues are gone now. We've had venues just close up on us.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, a lot of venues that were already struggling and then, just hit with this. And then successful cafes, bars. But hopefully other businesses will crop up out of them. Maybe just people are just winding down and then they're just going to come back stronger. Once you have that entrepreneurial streak as a small business owner, I just don't think it goes away. So I do think they will just figure things out. And I think we're going to see some really exciting new things come up out of adversity. I just think it always just, there's so many people on YouTube who started YouTube in 2008 when they'd all lost their jobs. And now they've got channels that are 3 million and COVID proof. But they were in that recession. So I think it's going to be really unpleasant for a long time. But I think, everyone's just going to show so much resilience because we have to. What else can we do?
Exactly. That's a great note to end on. Mm-hmm. I want to thank you for taking the time out of your insanely busy schedule to chat with me today. And it's been so lovely catching up with you.
Yeah,
it's been too long, and I hope that we can make music together in person. Hopefully, maybe later this year. If not, then next year or sometime soon. So.
It will most definitely happen.